Hello folks, this is Travis of Elliston Equine Solutions. Once again, thank you for coming to my weekly channel down here at the Clopton Cow Company Ranch. And today we're going to talk about is leg restraints and hobbling, the continuation. So this is the next step after doing a three-way hobble. We transition to a two-way hobble. Now, whenever I start to this process, I'm going to do everything I can to hobble all the time. I want it cemented inside that brain housing group like it's nobody's business, okay? So even if I'm tied up onto a fence like this, he knows it's time out because it's been going on forever, and I'll throw on the hobbles just to make it easy pleasy like, okay? They accept a lot better. This is where all those other steps, like since you've been following my videos, teaching them to lead by each hoof, working up the one leg hobble if you want to go that route. Next, go into the sideline hobble. Sideline hobble into the next step, which was the three-way hobble. And then we're going from here. So I still have the hobble straight down around the pastern bone. And as soon as it gets really good, we'll move them up traditionally up to the cannon bone. And that's where I like to finish. So it's easy to please. At this step of the process, we're going to go into the process of actually how I engage in mentally preparing them for this. But I want to talk about this because you can use the rope hobbles, you can use now the buckle hobbles because you've already surpassed the other systems to get to this step. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I go ahead and prepare a horse for this final step. All right, folks, so just a quick review here. This is the grazing style hobbles always talking about. They got a swivel right in the center, and I really like these if I'm just grazing. All right, but even better, I like the sideline hobbles or picketing a horse out. I never use these personally. What I do use is a type of hobble like this. For when I put them on a horse, that tells the horse to stay put no matter what, and they better stay there till I come back. Don't ever try to have a horse graze with these on. I don't recommend them because they'll start learning to hop with them. And I've covered that a lot, and I'm done talking about that portion. But what I do want to talk about is some viewers always question, why do you always put the hobbles right around the pasture bone when you're first starting, okay? Because traditionally up the cannon bone up here is normally where we put the pastern, normally we put the hobbles once you get past the pastern stage, you go up to the cannon bone stage. And that's traditional. Now, in the beginning we put it down here and people say, I never do that because I'm going to hurt tendons. I'm going to hurt the tendons inside this leg. Well, let me point this out real quick. There's only really two tendons inside the leg. You got the extensor tendon, which is right here underneath the skin, running up. And you got the deep flexor tendon. It goes deep underneath here by the P3 bone and runs all the way up here, okay? You could tell it doesn't matter if I was going to put a hobble I'll open this up for you. If I put this around the pastern bone, like we show in the videos, I can still touch both them tendons. So it really doesn't matter if I am around the pastern bone or up the cannon bone. If I'm up on the cannon bone, guess what I'm still touching, folks? If you can see, I'm still touching those two tendons. And everybody's like, I would never place it down here. Okay? You're going to place on both locations. Now, granted, this does flex down here. You can see this being the hoof capsule right here area, but it's only this portion, this portion. If you got it up top, when you get it up trained, you're only on the cannon bone right here. But it really doesn't make a difference in the long run. And I just wanted to illustrate that to you off of this cadaver leg to show you what's going on here. So in the beginning, what I'll do is I'll put it down here because I want them to know that they can't move whatsoever. Once they get trained, I'll slowly creep it up. When I'm real confident, just put it around the cannon bone, where you should. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. Thank you. So I like to start with the shoulder, and I just rub. Got a bee here. Go away, bee. I know it's January, February, but you don't need to be here. You go, it's too damn cold up north, I understand. Okay, so I'm going to take my hobbles off. Just like so. And generally the first step, what I like to do is I like to have them just stand here. Nice open, nice round pin, easy pleasy. And I'll drop the lead rope here in front of them, because that's what we've been doing on sideline. And I'm going to take this, and all I'm going to do is take it to the outside of the leg. He's been having this done a lot. Put it right through the spot right there, and if I'm not really tight here like I want to be, then all I have to do is bring the leg in, okay? Leg, because it's easier to move. And I'm just going to buckle in place here. I don't like to have a lot of, like a foot in between, even if you got all these holes. I want it just about a hand width distance in between, because I want them to learn they have to just stay there and stand. So I'm going to drop their lead rope and say, stand. And then what I'm going to do is probably go get my chair. Anytime he moves, I'm going to put him back there. I'm going to verbally reprimand him, okay? And then at the same time, he's doing good, I'm going to positively talk to him, say, good boy, Halo. And I really like to do this after he's been loping or really working out, because I want him to think this is a positive thing just to stand here. I want him to think this is time out and I can just relax. So Travis ain't going to ride me because I'm right here type of deal. He's got lick and chewing. He tested it. He's seeing if he has the three-way hobble on. He does it. So this is stuff he was doing in three-way hobble. But this is the first time with him being off the hobble was today. Okay, see how he moved the back legs, but he kept the front there. He's sniffing around. This is why it's important not to have grass on the ground. Good boy. Good. He's cleaning himself, licking them, but right now he's thinking his legs are glued to that dirt, and that's what we want. Remember, these hobbles are designed to say, hey, you stay there, pal. You don't go nowhere until I come back to get you. So he's straightening out the back leg, so that's pretty good. And in the beginning, I might just do it for like a minute, maybe 3 minutes. Next time I'll add a minute every day and try to develop it. But I'm not going to miss opportunity down the road. If I got to put a nose bag on, I'm putting the hobbles on. If I'm going to tie him up there, I'm going to put the hobbles on. I want it so cemented in his head that he knows he can't move with his front feet. They need to stay there. And he's kind of showed you that by moving his hind feet and keeping his feet there, okay? So this is what I like to do. So this is the general way I do it. It's real polite and everything. Once I get confidence on this, I'll move them up to the final step, which is a ring. And I really like the ring there because if there's grass around, they learn they can't move their feet. They will not move their feet. So we're going to show it real quick. And I like to go through all them steps first before I take them out to grass. So I'm going to go ahead and move them up to the next level. So I'm simply going to wash my fingers, make sure I don't get caught in the buckles. I'm going to release the hobbling system. And I'm going to rub, let them know that they're off. And then remember, what I like to do is I don't like them to even think go forward with the hobbles on. So even though they're off, I like to go off to a 90-degree angle and say, hey, and let them know that they're off. I'm going to show you how I go ahead and prepare a horse for this final step. There's a couple tools I use because I don't ever want to teach them to jackrabbit off. So first I provide a place that's generally flat with no rocks. I like to have a place where there's no grass, so they're not even thinking about eating the grass. So I'll keep them inside here. There's two ways of doing it. I'm going to cover both of them. So what I like to do is I got this ground grabber set up. All I'm going to do is drill a hole in the ground, as deep as I can get it. Switch out my bit. By the way, this comes. Okay, so once I get the hole drilled into the ground, all you gotta do is get a socket to fix the size of the bolt. Once again, this is called the ground grabber, and I find this pretty neat. It normally comes with different sizes of rods. You can give different length with the screw tip. And then you got this attachment right here. What I found working with this, it sometimes likes to move and the horse can lift it up off of his hobbles. So to prevent that from happening, what I have done is simply closed up with a washer on top. Now booger weld it closed in. All right, folks, so we just drilled this in. We got a better place, too many rocks, and we got this location. So the next thing I want to talk about is this setup. I use this same setup with horses that like to learn how to jackrabbit. So those are turned into prom horses. So remember, the whole deal here is to try to prevent that. But when I do have client horses come in that learn to really move out at a gallop with the hobbles on, I will do the whole systems, all the videos I showed, and then I'll drill something in the ground. And then I'll show you my other permanent area where I have them standing and learn that they can't move from that. The problem with that is if you got a permanent location, the horses learn to get tied up there and they put the hobble somewhere else. Then they learned they could take a half a step and then add to that step. Pretty soon you got them jackrabbit again. So I like to use a system like this where I can go to different locations. I might start in arena, go to I'll start here in round pen, then move to the arena, move different locations, moving this setup here, okay, after I've done the permanent one, and I'll show you that here pretty soon. So all I got is a carabiner that locks, and I got an old ring off of a single tree, off of a wagon. And all I do is simply just put it down inside of my keeper here, and then I just lock it in place. No different than my picket stake system. Okay. Now we're there. We're easy pleasy. I can pull up. Nothing happens. And we're gonna go to this step here. But first, I want to talk about the first step I do to make sure the horse is safe. Now I'm gonna walk up to this one. And this really helps a horse learn to stay put. Gets rid of all the garbage in case he thinks he's got to move. And I use this a lot on horses that, once again, are problem horses that learn to run, okay, with hobbles on. So I'm simply going to feed it through the system there, run my strap through, and then I'm going to give the cue to pick up his leg. Slide it over. Good. I'm going to tighten up this one. Once again, I'm going to fix that a little bit. So I want around the leg. Okay, I'm going to pick up the outside legs, bring it over, slide my ring down, make sure my fingers don't get caught. Feed my strap through the buckle there. and all I'm going to do is lock it in place. Now, because we have already gone by teaching them how to lead by the hoof, doing the three-way, the sideline hobbles and everything else, that's when I go to this. And I'm still not going to leave the country. I'm going to go do something else, but I'm going to be near here in case it freaks out. Now, a horse might go down his knees. He might go a little bit, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to make sure that I can help him get out of the situation if it arrives. Once again, I like this because I can take this system, go into the arena next, go to the grass area next, and mentally get them to think, even though there's grass there, that once that hobble's on, they're anchored to the ground. They can't go nowhere. And that's what I really like on this. I do the same thing with prom horses. Once again, I'll go through teaching them how to lead by each hoof. I will teach them to restrain their legs by putting a one-leg hobble on. Then I'll move up to the sideline hobble up the three-way, and go to this because it really fixes prom horses. And it might take a long time because remember, if you teach something wrong to a horse once or twice, it's going to take 1,000 repetitions to try to fix what happened. And that's what we're trying to do right here. So he's on timeout right now, so we're just going to let him stay here. And then I'm going to go work with a different horse. But I'm going to be inside the round pen to help him. That way, if anything goes amok, all right, folks, so Halo's been here for, probably 5-6 minutes at the most. He's moved his back end. His legs are still stuck here, like I expected it to be. He didn't struggle to do anything except for the fact that he's cemented in. So what I'm going to do is take them off, and then we're going to move to the permanent anchor point. I got the same thing with grass is kind of at. And that way, mentally, it teaches them that, hey, if there's grass there, you better still stay there. Remember, we're cementing the idea into their brain housing group. So once it gets good here, he gets good over there, then I'll move him to the arena with the same type of contraption here, okay? So all I'm going to do is simply unbuckle it. Good boy. Okay, he's struggling there, so I'm going to rub. See, he kind of pulled it out, so I'm going to rub, rub, rub. You got a little bugger there. He's feeling the pressure. And when he went the bugger out, all I did was what? All I did was rub. So I'm not going to fight that, so I'm going to have him come here to track the hindquarters because I don't want him to skip forward. Good, good. So remember, I don't want to pull forward because I don't want him to do what? I don't want him to learn to hop. Good, I'm going to brush the leg, let him know, hey, I'm just taking it off, buddy. Good. So you can see the anchor point stayed in the ground like it was designed to be. Rub. Now you're going to traverse a lot of dirt there. Yeah. When we're cowboying, it's rainy, it's muddy, we'll still throw hobbles on. And we're not going to have all day to clean up mud logs. Right now, I got time, so I'm cleaning them up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to walk over to the other spot, and I'll see you over there. All right, folks, I'm over here at the permanent hobbling station. If I got prom horses, once again, I learned how to run like a jackrabbit. And I'll use the lock because a lot of times there's grass over here and they'll want to munch on it. So all this is an eye bolt that came out of an old telephone pole. It's just scrap iron that I grabbed off of it. It's probably about 1.5 feet in length, and then I put it down the ground and quick treated it inside the hole I dug, placed it in there. And that's what I use. But if you don't have one of these, once again, use that other system I was talking about. It'll help out a lot. So all I did was grab the same equipment I had before. I'm going to put it right here on the eye bolt. Tighten it down. I'm going to bring the horse up to it by the lead rope here. Get a little bit closer to it. We're looking for precision here. It's the only thing that's a pain in the rear end about. Good, I'm just going to rub him. Rub him, rub him, rub him. Now we've already done three-leg hobbling with him, so he kind of knows what the deal is. We're just sitting on hobbles, so I'm going to go ahead. Grab the rope here. put it around. I don't like what happened there, so I'm going to pick up his foot. So hey, right there is fine. Thanks a lot there, Pizzo. Okay, I'm going to clamp down on it, and I'm going to rub and set it right there. Okay, right there. I'm just going to rub. Then I'm going to place everything through the ring. Now I'm going to pick up the keel like I was going to pick it up, clean out his hoof. Set it up close, rub. Mix it up, I'm going to put it back. Now what I'm going to do is simply, God dang. All right, so I got the foot here, so I'm going to place it around. Come through the buckle. I'm going to feed everything through it, both strands, until it's locked in place. And then I'm just going to pick up the front leg here. And sometimes horses are like this. They'll be frustrating. No biggie. Just reset everything up. I'm not going to get in a fight with him, so I'm just going to come over here. So, hey, pick up the foot. Thank you. Put it down. Good. And readjust everything. Good. Right there. Good. Come back down. Wrap it in. Put both of them through the ring, both straps. Leave it here, pick up the front leg, give them normal keel like you clean up the hoof, place it there, rub, 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 and lock in the hobble. Move your head so that he comes forward, he doesn't lurch into it, he freaks out. If he does, I got my hands distance there, which I like. Rub, and I'm going to put the rope right here and say, stand. So, I'm also teaching them to ground tie one way by just putting the rope there, okay? He knows what the deal is. He knows it's on there, and we'll let him investigate it. Now, once again, if he goes down on his knees, he'll figure out a way to get back up. I haven't had a horse, if you've done all the other steps I talked about, not figure out how to get back up if they're down on both knees. Testing it out. So once again, I'll do this for like 2 weeks and longer, and I will do the front leg hobbles on everything. When they're tied up in the trailer sometimes, tied up to a hitching post, sitting there putting a feed sack on their nose. I'm going to hobble them and work on this constantly because I want it to be a no-brainer for them. And then, once I'm done with these steps here, the final step is, once you're getting hobbled, is I'll go ahead and move them. Once you're doing good right here, I'm going to move them up here, okay? This is part of the reason why I have them down around the pasture bone, because I want an anchor point down there. Once they're mentally anchored to the ground, that's when I move them up here traditionally, okay? So I hope that answers that. So that pretty much concludes hobbling. I'll have some more videos on more hobbling techniques, like using Makati rein, how to tie one using a rope, where to put the hobbles when you're transporting them on a horse, you know, hanging off your saddle, off the horse's neck, yada, yada, yada. So all that is coming to a theater near you. But for today, you gained some knowledge, so now you became the solution. Take care now. This is Travis saying adios.